Well, Senator Nelson, you're in luck. I just happened to be going across the country to do a film out in Oregon, and this is my reply, my video reply to your email saying that drilling was not the answer to our energy problems, that windmills and solar power and bicycles were, and Americans would just have to suck it up and grin and bear it through this energy crunch. Now I'm just pulled over here in Texas. Thought I'd let you see this windmill farm. All of them that aren't working. That's the problem with this feel-good stuff. It just doesn't work. A nuclear power plant would work 24/7. Texas. On my way to Raton. Can you hear it? It's silent. Now that doesn't involve super tankers or anything else. We don't risk a spill drilling for our own oil. I'd come up here on this promontory and show you just how much land's out here. Now I'm on 87 between Raton, New Mexico. That's on 25, shooting up into Colorado, and Dollarhart or Texline, Texas. Congress just closed off this area here for exploration. They don't even want to know how much oil's out here, let alone drill. Now normally on 87 here, in the time I've been filming, you'd see 10 or 12 motorhomes go by. There's just nobody on the road. That's the effect of high energy prices. Now this is what the travel centers look like now. This would have just been a sea of cars and motorhomes and everything. This is what high energy prices does, and it's who it hurts is people cooking the meals, pumping the gas, the whole bit. Pulled over here in Wyoming. I thought I better stop real quick while I found a wind farm where they're actually working. Now look at the footprint all that takes compared to a power plant, and they're just putting out a fraction of the power that a power plant would. Wow. All that. I'm beginning to think this wind farm, there's a bunch of them not working, I'm beginning to think this wind farm deal is just a scam to separate the green thinking folks from the real green. It's like if it takes this kind of wind to turn those generators, some of them aren't even working. If it takes, behind that hill there's stacks of them, if it takes that much land, all the manufacturing that goes into that, all the solvents, all the everything that it takes to build those for a fraction of power from even a small power plant, well, I'm sorry guys, you've been had. Boy, this is a huge country, and somehow I just don't think we're going to power it with windmills. Now that's the Sinclair oil refinery and power plant. Look how tiny that is compared to the massive amount of land it took for the windmills. Yet for 30 years, Congress cannot approve the building of one of these things. I don't understand it, unless they've got investments in the carbon credits industries and windmill farms. You know, they've got hidden funds. There's a reason why they're starving us of energy. The wind's just howling out here. And out of that wind farm, see them in the back there? By far, most of them are not working. I think what you and I have discovered is an investment scheme. And if I was you, I'd call the Justice Department. This is where Oregon, Senator Nelson. Not a motorhome in the parking lot. Usually you'd have a tough time finding a place. Not many cars either. Peter Ogden camped here in 1825, right where I'm standing. Why, there he is, Senator Nelson. Peter Skeen Ogden himself. Doesn't look too happy to me. Probably needed some more fresh fruit. Now, you know, Senator Nelson, you and I are going to get along fabulously on this trip across America. You know, Senator Nelson, we've got a 250-year supply of coal. Yet, you and a select few of senators and congressmen have voted to tie up our coal reserves, so we can't use those. You know, Senator Nelson, no other nation on earth vilifies its energy industry, and China, India, Russia, the rest of the developing world are drilling like mad. They're building nuclear power plants and they're building oil refineries, yet we cannot seem to permit a single nuclear plant nor an oil refinery in this nation. And the question is, why? We need to look to the stock market, because what if I knew that I could suppress the energy industry and I could promote an alternative nobody'd ever think of, that had been tried in other countries and failed? What if I could artificially support that while suppressing the other industry? Well, there'd be a lot of money to be made by doing that. Now look at this investment opportunity, Senator Nelson. We have NRG Energy. Sounds like just any other normal company, but it happens to be the company that builds the wind farms that we've seen that you have such a fancy for. And let's look at the chart. The 5-year chart for that company. And let's take a look at what happens when a certain group of senators and congressmen get control of the Senate and the Congress. Within 3 months of the votes that start against the oil industry, a sudden rise, and the rise keeps taking place almost in time with every vote against the oil industry. Seems to me, Senator, there's a lot of money to be made. Do you and your cohorts know of this investment opportunity? Now, Senator Nelson, you voted in the past few weeks, I believe, to force the oil industry to buy carbon credits. Let's look at the carbon credit business, shall we? It's interesting what others say about the carbon credits business of Maurice Strong and Al Gore, creators of carbon credit scheme, cashing in on it. Now, I don't know, of course, but this is what others say. This is in the Canadian Free Press. There's an elephant in global warming's living room that few in the mainstream media want to talk about. The creators of the carbon credit scheme are the ones cashing in on it. Are you aware of this, Senator Nelson? There's a lot of money to be made here in carbon credits. Just wanted to take a minute to say, Senator, how nice it is to be working with you to solve our nation's energy supply. Can you imagine you, a former shuttle mission specialist, and me, an old crop duster, working together? Well, I'm sure you can hardly believe it yourself.